Haile Selassie I, born Taferi Makonnen on July 23, 1892, in Ajersagoro, Ethiopia, was the last emperor of Ethiopia and a towering figure in African and global history. Revered as a symbol of African independence and resistance to colonialism, he reigned from 1930 to 1974 and left a legacy that stretched beyond politics into religion, notably as a messianic figure in the Rastafari movement. Early life and rise to power. Taferi Makonnen was born into the Ethiopian aristocracy. His father, Ras Makonnen Wolde Mikhail, was a trusted general and advisor to Emperor Menelik II. From an early age, Taferi was exposed to court life, diplomacy, and military matters. He received a thorough education, including studies in religion, languages, and politics, which was unusual for Ethiopian nobles of the time. In 1916, following the deposition of Emperor Iyasou, Taferi was appointed regent plenipotentiary and heir to the throne by Empress Zuditu. During his regency, he introduced a number of modernizing reforms, building schools, sending students abroad for education, and encouraging the development of infrastructure and government institutions. Coronation and imperial rule. On November 2, 1930, Taferi Makonnen was crowned Emperor Haile Selassie I, a name meaning power of the Trinity. His full title, His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Conquering Lion of the Tribe of Judah, linked him to biblical heritage and emphasized Ethiopia's Solomonic dynasty, which claimed descent from King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Haile Selassie implemented a new constitution in 1931, which introduced a bicameral legislature, though real power remained with the emperor. His efforts to modernize Ethiopia included centralizing authority, expanding education, and attempting to curtail the power of regional warlords. The Italian invasion and exile. One of the most defining moments in Haile Selassie's reign came in 1935, when Fascist Italy, under Benito Mussolini, invaded Ethiopia. Despite fierce resistance, Italian forces equipped with superior weapons and using chemical warfare conquered the country by May 1936. Haile Selassie fled to exile in Britain, settling in Bath, England. During his exile, Selassie became an international symbol of anti-fascism. In June 1936, he gave a historic speech before the League of Nations in Geneva, condemning the Italian aggression and warning the world of the dangers of appeasement. Though the League failed to take effective action, Selassie's appeal strengthened his global reputation. Return and reconstruction. In 1941, with the help of British forces, Haile Selassie returned to Ethiopia after Italy's defeat in East Africa during World War II. He resumed his rule and began the arduous task of rebuilding the country. The post-war years saw increased efforts at modernization, including expanded infrastructure, educational reforms, and a more active foreign policy. He also played a key role in African diplomacy. Haile Selassie was a founding member of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, in 1963, hosting its first meeting in Addis Ababa. He championed the cause of African independence and unity and positioned Ethiopia as a leader in the Pan-African movement. Internal challenges and downfall. Despite his achievements, Haile Selassie's rule was increasingly criticized for its autocratic nature, economic inequality, and lack of political reform. In 1955, a revised constitution slightly expanded the role of parliament, but the emperor retained ultimate authority. By the early 1970s, Ethiopia faced severe problems: high inflation, famine in Wollo province, growing unemployment, and a widening gap between rich and poor. Discontent brewed among students, workers, and the military. In 1974, a series of protests and mutinies led to the rise of a military junta known as the Derg, which deposed Haile Selassie in September 1974. The emperor was placed under house arrest. Though the Derg claimed he died of natural causes in August 1975, many believe he was murdered on orders from the military regime. His remains were not properly buried until 2000, when he was reinterred in Addis Ababa's Holy Trinity Cathedral. Legacy and the Rastafari movement. Haile Selassie's legacy is complex. In Ethiopia, he is remembered both as a modernizer and a monarch who failed to democratize. Internationally, he is revered as a hero of anti-colonialism. Most uniquely, he is deified by the Rastafari movement, which emerged in Jamaica in the 1930s. Rastafarians regard him as the earthly representation of God, Yah, and a fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Despite Haile Selassie's own devout Ethiopian Orthodox Christian faith, he was deeply respectful of the Rastafarians and hosted some of their leaders during a visit to Ethiopia in the 1960s. Haile Selassie also appeared on reggae albums and was praised by musicians like Bob Marley, helping to popularize his name globally among the African diaspora and beyond. Conclusion: Haile Selassie I was a figure of immense historical importance, an emperor who fought colonialism, championed modernization, and became an icon of African pride and resistance. His reign marked a transformative period in Ethiopia's history, straddling the old imperial world and the emerging post-colonial era. Though overthrown, his influence continues to resonate in politics, culture, and religion across the globe.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.